Hey everybody, my name is Stavros. I'm professor of international relations and an advocate for democracy. You are here with me on Black Flag Media so we can talk about the topic of the invasion of Cyprus by Turkey in 1974 and the illegal occupation to this very day. So interestingly, the Greek Cypriots, they decided to have a TV series about it, which was a huge success here in Greece. And actually Netflix decided to show the show in the TV series in their own platform, and that led to a violent, vitriolic response by the Turks because the Turkish state, since they are continuing their genocide in the occupied northern part of Cyprus and their genocidal campaigns in Armenia, in Iraqi Kurdistan, in Syrian Kurdistan, in Rojava, they don't want anybody to talk about their violent and heinous crimes. So what they did is they tried to boycott it, and it seems that they are trying and they're going to have their way. So let's see the actual statement by Turkey's TV watchdog. And here is this guy. It's called Ebu Behir Şahin. He is the head of Turkey's Radio and Television Supreme Council. This is the whole body that Recep Tayyip Erdogan uses to stifle dissent and to basically, censure everybody who doesn't agree with his neo-Nazi policies, neo-fascist policies in the country. So what this guy said, he said that as the organization that regulates and supervises digital broadcasting services in our country, we have held the necessary meetings with the broadcaster Netflix, and an understanding has been reached that the production will not be broadcast outside Greece, which is crazy if you think about it. So he continues further on by saying that the production in question will only be included in the Netflix catalog in the country where it was previously broadcast in Greece, and will not be included in Turkey or any other country's catalog. He further said that this was an acceptable mistake that some circles with malicious intent have come up with a film, it's a series, dude, that denigrates the Turks, our country, and our heroic army, while the historical facts are obvious. Sure, they're obvious. You guys invaded Cyprus, which is a sovereign country and a member of the European Union, and you are still an occupying force there. You're blaming the Israelis for what essentially you are doing in Cyprus. You have violently and illegally invaded the island with your heroic army. Are you kidding? These are people who invaded, killed, murdered, raped, they killed and they murdered even pregnant women during the invasion, which is, it's an unbelievable barbaric act. The whole barbarity of the invasion is, in a sense, documented in this extremely well-produced TV series. That's why Netflix they found the merit of this project, this TV series project, and that's why they wanted to share with the world. So it seems that Turkey is trying everything in their power to stop it. So guess what? We need to stop them. How? And we need to organize, and you guys need to organize from wherever you're seeing this video to ask Netflix, email them that you guys would like to hear what actually happened. What the Turks are saying is that there's no legitimate government in Cyprus, which again is a sovereign country, and they cannot have their own productions. They cannot have their own TV series or films because they're bigots, obviously, and Erdogan is a fascist, and they're not in favor of any different opinion than their own. So this isn't a threat and an attack against free speech, against freedom of creation, the products of art. All of that is something, it's a no-no for Erdogan's Turkey. So I really want to talk a little bit about, the show is magnificent. It's a dramatic show. It's truly impartial. They're saying basically what happened, what led to this invasion. In 1974, there was a coup by the Greek junta at the time inside the country, inside Cyprus. The elected government of President Makarios was deposed by the Greek junta, but this was a period of instability that, what countries that adhere to international norms and law would do, they would basically try and reinstate President Makarios through, peaceful means. And that was actually the guarantor states treaty that Greece and the UK and Turkey shared, and they had the obligation to reinstate basically the president at the time in 1974 after the coup. Instead of that, the Turks thought, yeah, this is a great opportunity for us to invade, to have this barbaric atrocity, murdering people in the island, so we can put our own military neo-Nazi boots in the island. They have 40,000 troops to this very day in the island, which is, again, has been condemned by the UN, by the EU, by everybody, and they don't care. They just don't want people talking about it, apparently. So a little bit of the backstory about what happened. On July the 20th, 1974, Turkey invaded Cyprus. They violated any concept of international law, including the Charter of the United Nations. The illegal Turkish invasion was carried out in two phases. During the second phase, Turkey took the city of Famagusta under its control, hence the name of the TV series, and now they're illegally occupying over 36% of the territory of the Republic of Cyprus. This was a heinous crime. The US at the time, even though they were allies with the Turks, them being a member of NATO, they were forced to to put an embargo, basically. They did veto any future arms sales and sales of weapons in Turkey. So they embargoed Turkey. They said the U.S. Congress said that we will embargo Turkey. We will not be selling them weapons anymore because they're invading allied people like the Greeks in Cyprus. So we had this for 3 years. We had this embargo because of this the violent act. Imagine even the U.S. going against Turkey, right? This is crazy. The UN, with many different resolutions, they condemn the invasion. They condemn this illegal atrocity, which is the actual puppet state that Turkey has created in the occupied northern parts of the country. And they have called on the Turks to get the hell out of the country because this is a free country. And it's a member of the UN. It's a member of the EU. As a result of the Turkish military invasion and occupation, more than 160,000 Greek Cypriots, they had to flee their home. They became refugees in their own country, in their own island. To this very day, the occupying force, it's impeding the return of refugees to their homes and their property. They have losing money, they have losing opportunity gains. All of these years, the Greek Cypriots, they have losing, their territory, and they're also missing the relatives that they were abducted by the Turks. Not only they murder people, but they were abducting them, and they put them in concentration camps inside Turkey. Again, this was 1974, guys. This was not, before World War II. To this day, by the end of 1975, the vast majority of the Turkish Cypriots living in areas controlled by the legitimate government were forced to leave their homes and move, owing to Turkey's coercive policy to the Turkish occupied territory of the Republic of Cyprus. At the same time, which is the most important part here, Turkey has implemented a systematic policy of settlement of the occupied part of Cyprus since 1974, with the mass transfer of more than 160,000 Turks from Turkey in order to change the demographic profile and alter the population balance on the island. So what the Turks did is, first they invaded, then they put the occupying force of 40,000 neo-Nazi troops in the northern part of Cyprus, and then they started moving people, more than 150,000 Turks, and these are like ultra-fascist grey wolves, ultra-fascist neo-Turks, and condemned criminals also. They were giving a second chance if they were willing to move into, stolen land, basically, in northern Cyprus. So they have been doing this forced demographic change in the island, the same thing that they're doing in the parts of Syria that they have occupied, such as the northern part of the country, such as the city of Afrin. The Turks have invaded and they have occupied Afrin, which was a Kurdish land. They had 80% of the people in Afrin were the Kurdish people. Now they are basically Arabs and Turks, and the Kurdish population remaining in Afrin is less than 20%. So they're doing the exact same thing. Also, something that needs to be said, obviously, is that from the 1 month, basically, that this whole invasion, this double-phase invasion took place, and mind you, the second phase of the invasion, the Turks decided to invade a second time in Cyprus, while at the same time, they were fooling the whole of the world because they were negotiating in Geneva with the Greeks, the UK, the US. They were saying that, we're suing for peace. There was a ceasefire in the first phase of the war, but they were just preparing for a second barbaric invasion. I don't know, it's inhumane if you think about it. You have your diplomats talking about, you have your ceasefire, you're negotiating for a more permanent peace, and at the same time, you're preparing for a second invasion, which is criminal. So during this whole month, the Greek side, the Greeks, the citizens of Cyprus, they lost more than 6,000 people. More than 6,000 people died, women and children among them. We have more than 3,000 who are missing. Again, these are the people that were either murdered or maybe even abducted, and they were thrown into jails, into white cells in Turkey, in concentration camps, or they also stole children, so they're also part of the 3,000. And Famagusta is also talking about something like that, like a kid that was stolen, but by their parents, by the Turkish military, and they raised them by themselves. They stole people from a mother's arms. And also we have 200,000 at the end that they became refugees finally after the dust settled in this conflict. So yes, we need to know about history because, we're talking about the invasion of Ukraine by Russia, but truthfully, this was the first invasion of Europe. Not only Europe, Ukraine is part of continental Europe, but Cyprus is also a member of the European Union. So after World War II, the first invasion of European land was by the Turks. They taught how to invade, the barbarity, the crimes, the brutality, the cannibalism that they saw, that the whole world saw in their reactions and in their behavior was pretty self-evident. Famagusta is trying to show the world a tidbit of that, so everybody can understand what happened back in the day. The Turks don't want anybody to change their narrative. The narrative is that, we have the audacity and the right to invade and kill and take people's properties. That's not obviously what humanity needs to accept. We have to raise up. We have to raise our flag and stop any such barbarity, any such cruelty, any such act which is heinous and inhumane. And to do so, we need to support Famagusta, its creators. Call on your representatives. Call on Netflix. Tell them that you would like to see this TV series. Find a way to watch this TV series, and then stop the Turks in their invasions in the region, not only against Greeks in Cyprus, but generally in the Mediterranean basin. They have been a threat. They're threatening not only the NATO alliance, but every free-thinking person in the region. That's it from me, guys. If you like this video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you at the next one. Keep raising the black.